Hello. Hi. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. We're starting. Here's the stream. What's up, One True Dark Soul? Good to see you. Glad to have you. Oh my gosh, my mess of Tyranids in the background. Don't look at that. It's terrible. Let's there you go. I'm feverishly trying to find all the bits I need for Warrior Bioform Onslaught. Games Workshop really needs to make a resculpt of Warriors, because like I feel like every edition I have to like find more Tyranid Warrior bits, right? And I'm just tired of it, because I feel like if they resculpted it, we would just have like the 3 set, and then it would be, you know, whatever. But anyways, what's up, guys? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad it's a Tuesday. We're hanging out. We're going to go over some Tyranid lists. I'm very excited. One of my favorite things to do. We also, if you haven't voted in the poll on how we're going to end stream, please do so. I got 2 options for us. One, we're going to either go over an army list that I'm going to be running on Wednesday Night Warhammer tomorrow, or we'll grab a couple extra lists. You know, if members are here and they want some lists being submitted, then you can do that as well. Either one is super cool, regardless. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into our first list today. No members this time around. So if you're on the fence, right now is a really good time to consider. Anyways, moving on. Our first list is Scott McInnes. Scott McInnes. Very cool. Maybe Scottish. Anyways, hi Jordan. Thanks for the great content. I'm just getting started into 40K and have found your videos very helpful. I'm trying to put together a Tyranids army that doesn't break the bank. Good luck. Tyranids are very expensive. But anyways, I got the Ultimate Starter Set. That's a good way to do it. Share with a Space Marine player. Awesome. There's my recommendation, and the Battle Force box. Wow, that is actually a very good start. I've added a few other bits and pieces and come up with the list below. Biomass bargain bin. We should do that. I should do a video on what we think the cheapest competitive 2,000 point Tyranid list would be. I think that would be a good video. I would be interested to see where we land. Anyways, here is Invasion Fleet. Got a Death Leaper. Whoa, Desi the boy. Thank you for being a member, man. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Cool stuff. We got a Death Leaper, a Neurotyrant, Tervagon with adaptive biology, a spicy pick, I will say, Winged Hive Tyrant, We have 1 squad of Hormagaunts and then 60 Termagants. You know, this actually makes sense. With the starter set, I think you get 20 Termagants. Yeah. So he probably just picked up 40 more Termagants. And what I would do with the Termagants, and I have yet to do this. Awesome, Desi. Yes, we are officially best friends now. What I do with my Termagants, or what I'm going to do, I need to probably do it tonight, is just pick 2 Termagants and paint their guns green or something like that. And just say, hey, those 2 guys are the flamers. Boom, done. And then I actually probably would do Spine Fists over the Flesh Borer. Again, just have them modeled as the Flesh Borers, because I'm assuming you have like the push to fit Termagants. Have them modeled as the Flesh Borers. Anybody who you play, just say, hey, these are Spine Fists. And then they're going to be like, what's a Spine Fist? And they're probably not going to care. Anyways, moving on. Biovore, Exocrine, Maliceptor, Neurolictor, Screamer Killer, Tyranifex, Von Ryan's Leapers. Yeah, this seems like exactly what you've said, right? I think you've kind of gone for a biomass bargain bin. And I think you've done a pretty good job so far. And you can really tell that Battle Force box is being put to good use. Exocrine, Maliceptor, Tyranifex, Screamer Killer, and Neurotyrant. What's up, Battle Bard? Battle Bard, I've never been called a top shagger before. I don't know what that is, but I'm here for it. Is that... that's phenomenal. Good to see you, man. Okay, so this is good. I think all of this is good. I would probably say I want a walking Hive Tyrant more than I want a winged Hive Tyrant. But honestly, if you think about it, if you're going hordes, like if you go up against a combat heavy army, the flying Hive Tyrant is actually pretty good, right? Because -1 to attack, going into 60 Termagants, that's pretty good, you know? And then, like, I guess the only thing is you have to be really careful about positioning with all this stuff, right? Okay, so a couple of budget things, since we're talking about budget stuff and starting Tyranids. Ooh, I should do like 5 tips for bugging on a budget. Wow, what a video name. We've come together. We figured it out, chat. 5 tips for bugging on a budget. That's a great video idea. Okay, so you have Von Ryan's Leapers. I like Von Ryan's Leapers. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to be playing with some Von Ryan's Leapers. However, if we don't have lictors, if we have a Neurolictor, I think you just find a couple of 50 millimeter bases. You can go on Amazon, you can go on Etsy, you can go wherever, and then sticky tack like 2 Von Ryan's Leapers on 50 millimeter bases, and then boom, you've got it. You got lictors. I think you just proxy lictors, or you proxy Von Ryan's as lictors for a little bit. I think that would be good. So what I would do, a couple of things that are not like, take a look at the list. That would be another idea to do. And then additionally with the Hive Tyrant, you probably still have bits left over. Go to Maelstrom Gaming's Etsy channel. He probably has it linked. I don't know. But Craig has a Etsy channel where he 3D prints Hive Tyrant torsos, and with an extra torso, you can actually create an extra Hive Tyrant, and it's pretty good doing that. I really do like Death Leaper. So this is tough, right? Because there's a couple of things, like I think 2 lictors are going to be better before 1 Von Ryan's Leaper. So if you have... because I don't want to just say, okay, go out and buy everything, you know. But I think with the models that you have, you've done a good job. Like, this is a good list. It truly is. I think things to buy would be like Gene Stealers and Broodlords and Gargoyles. Which would be sweet. I'm wondering if the Hormagaunts are actually needed. Could be interesting. Sorry, I'm rambling. It's It's hard to correct something which I know has been built on a budget. If this is what you're running with to start, I think you're doing a great job. Another thing that you could also do, trying out Venom Thropes. That's another thing that Craig has. I think he has pieces that you can, if you buy a Zone Thrope box, you can also create Venom Thropes off of them as well. So on his Etsy channel, he's done a really good job of allowing for some budget build stuff. Anyways, you can proxy the Von Ryan's Leapers as Venom Thropes, and that actually might be something that you're wanting with your 60 Termagants. So Termagants with having -1 to hit as well as cover, and then just being able to hide in place and do cool stuff. Nice. I don't have much to add. Like if this is your start, this is great. You know, I don't think Termagants are always going to be good, but I think in the meta right now, they're actually kind of good. Like this 60 Termagant spam seems kind of strong. I think the Termagant is kind of weirdly positioned, because if this was a walking Hive Tyrant, the Termagant would basically be doing the same thing as a walking Hive Tyrant. But yeah, so I think just those budget ideas that I was talking about, and then things that I would recommend to buy, Gene Stealers and Broodlord. I think those are like quintessential Tyranid pieces right there. Hormagaunts, if you like them. I would probably do Gargoyles before Hormagaunts. Honestly, I just think Gargoyles in the grand scheme of things are probably better than Hormagaunts. But they do kind of different things, kind of similar things. Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, another Exocrine, and then Zoanthropes. If you got like 2 boxes of Zoanthropes, found a way either through Etsy or something to get those bits to also make Venomthropes, that would be great. Oh, and then also, like before Exocrines, maybe 50mm bases to try out some Lictors instead of Von Ryan's Leapers. But Scott, this is cool stuff, man. And I really like. I've been playing for a while. I have a lot of Tyranids. But like starting out like this is a really good place to start. And I would encourage you not to feel like you have to go buy out every single unit all at once. Play the game. This is a good list to start. So don't feel like you immediately have to spend $600 to actually participate in the game, because you don't. You have a good start. You have a good start. Let's catch up with chat for a second. Yep. Starter set Gaunts are the only ones. It's a battle barn. I didn't get to sit my invasion fleet, but I'm running the Lash Whip with Prime and 20 Hormagaunts. Very cool. So the list that I'm running at Wednesday Night Warhammer tomorrow. Let's see where this poll is. How can I see the poll? Oh, we got 62% extra list. So it looks like we're probably going to be doing extra list. But the list that I'm doing tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Warhammer will have 40 Hormagaunts and 40 Termagants. I'm doing 8 little bugs. And we're going to see how good the Lash Whip Prime is. I'm going to be proxying the Lash Whip Prime. Kyle, I'm playing Kyle. He's going to have one of them. The other one I'm just proxying, so it'll be good. But yeah, I think 20 Hormagaunts seems good. Prime for primary denial, and then Shadows in the Warp. Yeah, that seems good. Venomthropes are nice. Yep, I'm bringing some Venomthropes too. I'm just not bringing a Tervigon. I think the Tervigon just is a little bit too expensive. And then if you have a walking Hive Tyrant, he kind of does the same thing. You're gluing your Venomthropes together as we watch. Awesome, man. Very cool. And what's up, Benjamin? Good to see you, man. Okay, moving right along, we have CRG Motors. Here's my list. Just ran in my first tournament this Saturday, as well as my first in the Wild Games of 40K. I ended up going 2-1 with this list, losing to Pantheon of Woe, 5 Catan list. That sounds tough. Winning against Orcs and Eldari. Biggest surprise with the Tervigon and Termi with Spine Fist Bricks. Just run to the closest No Man's Land objective and park on it. Regrew the several Termis that died until opponent decided it was more trouble than it was worth. Accurate. Where's the option for worship me in order to end the stream? Oh my gosh. I didn't think that was an option. Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Until opponents decided it was, yep, as my 2 Gene Stealer units are already eating at or Venoms ended up screening backline, occasionally giving self. Yeah, seems good. I'm doing something very similar with my list tomorrow night. We got 2 Broodlords, Hive Tyrant with Perfectly Adapted. So I'm probably going to be looking for like 10 points to change Perfectly Adapted to a Adaptive Biology. Oh, just kidding. I'm not going to be doing that because the Turvagon. Turvagon has Adaptive Biology, and then we have a Winged Tyranid Prime. Interesting. I'm wondering, we probably just change that out for a Lashbit Prime. Gargoyles, Hormagaunts, 20 Termagants, a Biovore, 20 Gene Stealers, 1 Lictor, a Psychophage, Screamer Killer, and then we have 3 melee warriors, 3 ranged warriors, Venomthrope, Von Ryans, Zoanthropes. Okay, so we have a 3-man Zoanthrope squad. Interesting. All right. So yeah, I like some things about this. Other things I think we could probably just touch up a little bit and make it a little bit more competitive. I do think Winged Prime gets dustbinned for sure, unless you're in Vanguard Onslaught. And I feel like even though we say that every single time, and it's like kind of throwing it in at the end, oh, we still love you because of Vanguard Onslaught. You know, I think we just give him the credit and then move on. Okay. So a couple things. I think the Warriors are they're really lacking in this. I think in this edition, and they're paying for their sins of the past in 9th edition. If you guys played Tyranid Warriors in 9th edition, sheesh, oh my word. Our first priority is getting 100 more points to put the Zoanthrope squad up to a 6-man instead of just a 3-man. Because I really, really, really do think that you only want to run 6. You don't really want to run 3. So things that don't really support us, like the Psychophage, is okay. I think we need like some actual firepower. All right, so we're gonna cut the Warriors, and that's gonna give us 140 points. We're gonna cut the Warriors and we're gonna cut the Psychophage, so that's gonna give us 250 points. Good start. And let me actually resize this. Very professional stream right here, folks. Okay. Resizing this, so what? That would be 250 points. So immediately we're going to spend 100 points to bump these Zoanthropes up to a 6-man squad. Oh, do we have a walking Hive Tyrant? Okay, good. Nice. We got 150 points left. And then we're cutting all of this. Cutting this. And what I would like, because like the rest of the list is pretty good, what I would like is maybe 1 more Lictor and some shooting. Right? We're also going to cut the Prime, especially because right now he doesn't really do anything. Right? So that's going to be 215 points. Yeah, Range Warriors are just kind of, yeah, they are gone. 215 points. Like, I think 2 Exocrines and then you just kind of call it a day. You know, I don't think the Screamer Killer is going to make it because I think you have enough melee stuff. With like 20 Gene Stealers is quite a bit of stuff. It is. So this would be 340 points. Boom. And then we do 2 Exocrines, which would be 280 points. And I'm changing this list a lot, but I'm gonna explain in a second. Exocrine, 140 points. And then that would be 60 points left over. Nice. Cool. And then you just throw another Lictor in, I think, and then you're done. Okay, so I like the idea of a bunch of bugs, right? And so a couple of things that, and I'm looking at this Turvagon as well, but I don't want to change the list too much, right? If you're having a good time with Turvagon, please continue to have a good time with Turvagon. But you could drop the Turvagon, and you could just get like 100. You could get 20 more Termagants as well as like another Lictor, another squad of Hormagaunts or something. I just think if you have the Hive Tyrant, then he almost does the same thing as the Turvagon, right? Because you just free strat him. And then it would be interesting to see, like, if you could get a second squad of Termagants in here, especially if you're doing Turvagon, right? 2 Broodlords. Yeah. But the idea with this is, you know, Turbogants are mucking in the center, exactly like what you said. And then Gene Stealers are going to have a really, really good, like, counterpunch. Like, they're going to have to send something meaningful actually to kill your Termagants. And then Gene Stealers are just going to punch up. I just really feel like Gene Stealers are one of our best units, especially in Invasion Fleet. Invasion Fleet, Gene Stealers are super good. Super good. Nice. But those are the kind of stuff that I would do. I would also try, I guess if you're keeping it Turvagon, adaptive biology on the Turvagon is really annoying. It's very, very difficult to deal with. So don't move it off the Hive Tyrant. But if you get rid of the Turvagon, absolutely put the adaptive biology on the Hive Tyrant. I just feel like you probably need one more squad of Termagants in order to benefit from the Turvagon. Maybe we end up like dropping a Gene Stealer squad. That feels bad though, right? Or you could just combine these two, maybe. I think probably dropping Gene Stealers. So that would be 220 points. Yeah. Let's see it. So, no, I kind of like the Gene Stealers. All right, we're going to leave it because I do like the Gene Stealers. But everything else is good. I think Zoanthropes are very good in Invasion Fleet. I'm running some Zoanthropes tomorrow night. It's going to be a good time. As well as Venomthropes. Like, these 3 units I have in my list tomorrow night. The Venomthropes, Von Ryans, and Zoanthropes. Seems like some good stuff, man. And I hope it... Oh, yeah. The list name is Big Mama's House. There's no way he's cutting the Turvagon. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. Our poll has 25 votes. If you haven't voted on the poll yet, vote real quick. And while you're voting, give us a like. I think I'm going to close the poll at like 35, and then we'll just prepare for it at the end of stream. Owen Chance, 22. What's up, Owen? Thanks for sending a list in. And yes, Mama need more babies. I would agree. Mama needs more babies. But like 20 Gene Stealers is pretty sweet. That's pretty cool. Owen says, hello, Sharks. Today I've brought you a Subterranean Assault list cosplaying as Vanguard Onslaught. Very interesting. I want to lean more towards melee than range to take advantage of those delicious 6-inch rerollable charges, but worry about lack of anti-armor. Would also like to maybe fit in Swarmlord because I've never played him before and rumor has it he's the GOAT in sub-ass. Thoughts? Yes, he is the GOAT. Thank you for quoting a video. Incredible. All right, let's take a look at this. So be careful. If you've seen Wednesday night Warhammer streams, when I run Subterranean Assault, I notoriously fail my 6-inch charges. Like I think I need to clip it or something. But I like failed like 3 6-inch charges in a row, and it was just miserable. It was terrible. So I would be very careful about relying on 6-inch charges. So it's interesting because like when I go to make a Subterranean Assault list or anything like that, or Subterranean Assault list, I actually lean more towards the shooting package and like babying my Zoanthropes as much as possible. Like I want my Zoanthropes to be just chilling for the entire game, and I actually kind of lean away from the melee. I don't like going into the melee too much because if you just fail your 6-inch charge, then you've like developed this entire package around that, and then you just fail, which seems. But anyways, let's take a look. We've got Deathleaper, Broodlord, Neuro Tyrant with Tremor Sense, Winged Hive Tyrant, Winged Tyranid Prime, Trigon, 2x10 Hormagaunts, Biovore, Gene Stealers, 1 Lictor, 2 5-man Raveners. Ooh, Melee Warriors, he says. 6 Zoanthropes, Maliceptor. This is cool. Do we have? We do have 6 zoanthropes. I think Maleceptors are like sleeper picks in Subterranean Assault. I actually really like Maleceptors. Ooh, thinking 11 Vanguard and Sub Assault combined to give the zones chameleonic. Interesting. Could be cool. So I would say, like, let's either do Tyranid Warriors or the Gene Stealers, you know, because I just feel like having too many melee packages seems tough. And if you just get rid of one, then you can like allow yourself to just put a little bit more into shooting. And I think you even said that you're worried about anti-tank. So like I think a Rupture Cannon Tyranifex is one of the best units in Subterranean Assault as well, because you get reroll ones, you know, and if you're able to stand still, which most of the time you're not, if you're able to stand still, then you know, you're hitting all the time, basically. So let's do this. I think let's assume this Winged Tyranid Prime is actually a Lash Whip Prime. And let's kind of build with that. So we're gonna cut the Gene Stealers. Nice, man. Bennis, I'm very excited to be painting some primes very soon. Thank you again, by the way. And I really love the new Hormigons. So I had a great time painting the Hormigons. I've actually kind of weirdly discovered that I really enjoy painting hordes, which is like that's not a good thing, right? Like, but so that leaves us with 220 points. 220 points. So the first 200 points, we're going to just slam a Tyranifex in there. Bam. T-Fex with Rupture Cannon. And we have 20 points left over. So now, and we're going to be finding 30 points to 30 more points to basically upgrade this Winged Tyranid or Winged Hive Tyrant to a Swarm Lord. So let's see if we can do it. So I think Tremor Senses is not necessarily needed, because I know you can pick things up, but you can also just pick things up in your turn or in your opponent's turn rather. So we're going to cut Tremor Sense to go up to 40 points. Boop. And then, I think we cut Death Leaper for, and like either change him into a Neurolictor or a second Lictor. If we do Neurolictor, then we're like right on the money. Let's do Neurolictor. So you have one Lictor, one Neurolictor. Maybe a little bit awkward, but it's fine. And then this Winged Hive Tyrant becomes a Swarm Lord. 220 points. Yeah, I really like Swarm Lord. I like this list. I think this list is cool. I would be interested to see how the Lash Whip with Prime and Melee Warriors do in Subterranean Assault. You know, they could be like an annoying unit because you could just like put them on a flank, get a 6-inch charge, and then if your opponent leans a little bit heavier into shooting, then they have a pretty big problem for them to deal with if you're able to be really close, because then you might Blood Surge into them, and then that could be annoying for them. And then the Tyranifex can teleport a whole bunch of stuff. Seems good. Starting, like, things to start on the field, I would probably start the T-Fex, one of the Maleceptors, one of the Zoanthropes, reserve the Tyranids, the Warriors, and the Prime, as well as the Trigon, and to keep everything else on the board. And then I think if you just do that, you don't actually need Tremor Sense, because then you can use the extra CP to pick up the Zoanthropes, teleport them around, and then do some cool stuff. Yeah, seems cool. Subterranean Assault, I always like get scared about missing. Oh, it is your list, Owen. Dude, that's amazing. Uh, I always get spooked about Subterranean Assault, but then like when I talk about like teleporting stuff, I always get like kind of excited. I think it's cool. Oh, and I thought you had a great list name. Or your intro was amazing. So basically, Owen, I was thinking you do either one or the other melee packages, and since Lash Whip Prime is in season, I just changed the Winged Tyranid Prime to a Lash Whip Prime, and we cut the Gene Stealers. And then, yeah, man. And then what do we do? Oh yeah, so we cut the Gene Stealers so that we could have a Tyrannifex. Like I think a one of Tyrannifex and then the six Zoanthropes is actually a pretty good like anti-vehicle threat because I think you said you were worried about anti-armor. And then what else did we trim? Oh, we changed Death Leaper into a Neurolictor and then got rid of Tremor Senses. And then I think that got us to where we're at, which is Neurotyrant, Swarm Lord, Lash Whip Prime, Trigon Prime, 2 Hormagaunts, a Biovore, Neurolictor, Lictor, 10 Raveners, 6 Tyranid Warriors, Zoanthropes, Maleceptor, Rupture Effects. Yeah. So if you plan out your reserves and stuff, I actually don't think you need Tremor Sense most of the time. And then you just use your up-down stratagem to just save yourself from whatever mistakes you've made. You know? Cool stuff. Thank you again, Owen, for the continued support, man. And I appreciate you sending our list. Manuelis, on the subject of Wing Prime. I love him with melee warriors and warrior onslaught. You can bunny hop over your 6-inch movement with warriors for better charge. I agree. You can absolutely do that. I think unless Vanguard Onslaught, I do think the Lash Whip Prime is just better. Because he does sustained. Like you lose the fight on death, sure, but like the number of attacks he has is pretty cool. And then also, you can bunny hop over. That is correct. However, you still have to be within 2 inches of your other units or your other models within the unit. So the Lash Whip Prime moving 10 versus 12 actually doesn't change too much of the movement. Besides, of course, when you're advancing and charging. So yes, I agree. Vanguard Onslaught, you need him there, but otherwise, probably Lash Whip. It looks like I'm gonna end our poll. Looks like we're gonna do a couple extra lists. Boop. Oh, I just dismissed it. All right. I didn't know how to end it apparently. So we're gonna do let's do 3 extra lists at the end of stream. So if you want to be a member and then run over to the post and post a list, we'll take a look at your list. Otherwise, I'll grab list from the existing queue and it'll be good. Either way, thank you for voting and thanks for hanging out. Millie Boy 222. Hi Jordan, never played this list before, but I have most of the stuff for this and I just want to see what I could do to improve. Awesome, Owen. That sounds great. But I do want to keep the old One Eye squad as a must. Hell yeah, dude. I almost put old One Eye actually in an Invasion Fleet list that I was going to play. He didn't quite make it. He is very expensive, but let's take a look. I'm excited to see it. We've got Broodlord, Hive Time with Adaptive Biology, old One Eye, Gargoyle Squad, Hormagaunt Squad, Biovores, and then Carnifexes. So this is like a hybrid. He has 1 set of Crushing Claws and 1 set of Death Spitters. And then he's got the Spine Banks and the Bioplasma. So if I'm in Invasion Fleet, I'm just going to do 4 Death Spitters because I think you really want to lean on like Sustain or Lethal and just kind of really, really make use of the full rerolls. Invader Boy Sim says, where do we put extra lists? So go to my YouTube channel, Hivevine Hobbies. Oh, gosh. And go to the post section and you'll see you'll see this post that says submit your list here, and then you can just submit it there. Just like copy and paste and put it into a comment. Ooh. Yep. That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. Cool. So he's got, yes, thank you, Invader Boy Zim. Appreciate you becoming a member, man. Excrin, Gene Stealer, Lictor, Maleceptor, Norn Emissary, Tyrannifex with Rupture Cannon. Very cool, man. Yeah, no, I actually ran a list very, very similar to this. What did I do differently? So the only thing that I don't love is I don't like that you only have one T-Fex, right? Seems kind of tough. And are we right at 2,000 points? We were right at 2,000 points too. Okay. So what I would like is like if we, the Norn is cool, right? So first up, this list is good. I think this list is fine. I think only having one Tyranid is kind of awkward, though. I mean, I guess like your second Tyranid is literally your Carnifex is running at your opponent. I think that is a Tyranid, but not necessarily. So what I would want to do is like cut the Norn, get a second Tyranid, and then get a third Lictor with that. Just so you have like extra screening and extra like action monkey business. And then that would be pretty good. But first things first, it's a cool list. More forgive with moving around terrain and picking a direction. But yeah, whips are better. Yeah. For sure. So you keep this as it is. Play it a bunch. I don't think the Carnifex unit is bad. I think you probably do need to run it with quad Death Spitters. I think that's the best way to do it. But I generally or genuinely don't think that unit is bad. It's expensive, but it's not bad. Yeah, so either run it as is or try cutting a Norn for a second Tyranid and then a third Lictor. But either ways, or anyways, just keep running Old One Eye, dude. He's sweet. He's cool. Moving right along, we have Ethaman. I don't know what that is. Okay, anyways, Ethaman and his list title, Bugs in Your Pants. That's pretty good. All right, see you later, Benjamin. Bugs in Your Pants, that's pretty good. This is a clear front runner, I think, for list names. Or Big Mama's Biomass. That was good, too. Vanguard Onslaught. Man, he's really going after my heart here. We have 2 Broodlords, a Death Leaper, Hyperadaptive Raveners, 2 Hyperadaptive Raveners, Winged Hive Tyrant, Winged Tyranid Prime, Gargoyle Hormigons, Biovore, Genestealer, Lictor, Neurogons, Neurolictor, 10 Raveners, Melee Warriors, and 3 Von Ryan Sleepers. Wow, this list is cool, man. See, I told you, I love Vanguard Onslaught. Okay, so the fun thing is just run all melee. Only do melee all the time and punch your opponents. Do that. But, like, if we're really thinking about it, I think we actually need some type of shooting. The problem is it's like either 2 Exocrines or 305 points worth of shooting. So, like, it really, really chips away at Vanguard Onslaught, which is unfortunate. I ran a list similar to this at Worlds. I had a great time. I tested that list a lot. I had very good success with that list outside of playing in a meta with literally the best Warhammer players in the entire world. So, like, take a look at your meta, right? If this is good into your meta, then run this because it's a whole lot of fun. But if it's not, here's what I would do. Okay? If it's not good, if your meta is a little bit sweaty just like mine, it's a very quick fix. Cut the Tyranid Warriors, including the Winged Prime, and then cut Von Ryans. And that's 285 points right there. And then just put 2 Exocrines in. Like, that's boring, right? Like, it's boring. But I think the support that you get from Exocrines or just like some type of shooting like that is really, really, really kind of needed in Vanguard Onslaught, because you don't want your opponent to be able to just go, hey, I'm just going to move my Rhino up the field and you literally can't do anything about it. That's like the worst thing that can happen. And it happened to me. Otherwise, I really like this list. I would probably do 3 Lictors before Neurolictors, but I also get the idea of like spamming battle shock checks and then proccing the +1 to wound so that your Gene Stealers can wound Catans or things not on 6s all the time, and then you can get other cool stuff from that. Also, +1 to wound and Twin Linked from the Raveners is like, whew, it's very, very good. Yeah, Vanguard Onslaught was probably one of my favorite ways to play the edition. So this list seems sweet. Good job, man. And I hope you're having fun with it. And bugs in your pants. 2 Chuck pluses for me. 1 for playing Vanguard Onslaught, and 2 for such a good list name. Moving right along, we have Flash Virgo 01. He says, this is the list I'm currently using. 10th is coming to an end. So trying unusual and different things now, and I like the Double Brain Council. The list name is 2 brains are better than 1. Subterranean Assault. Ooh, he's playing 12 Zoanthropes? Goodness gracious. All right, let's take a look. Neurotyrant. One of the Neurotyrants with Tremor Senses. Trigon Prime. Biovore, no battle line. Man, we really are just going all in. Okay, sweet. Biovore, 2 Lictors, double Maleceptor, 10 Raveners, Screamer Killer, Tyranid, Zoanthrope. Okay. All right. Here's my idea. It is based. I agree, dude. It's just sweet. So a couple thoughts that I have, right? The reason why I don't think we see a whole lot of people running 12 Zoanthropes is because they really, really like the Enfilading Emergence stratagem and being able to get the sustained hits as well as lethals and ignore cover. Like, that's the reason why we don't see that, because we just, we need that. Like, I feel like the Zoanthropes really, really like that. So having 2 units that are both wanting that stratagem is a little bit clunky. But it's not terrible, And I think you could definitely set up a turn where like 2 Zoanthrope squads come in and then just like just demolish a flank and then say like, well, what are you going to do? But I think some very, very clear synergy that we could do. Like, you have Screamer Killers and you have Zoanthropes that kind of care about things being battle shocked, and you have Neurotyrants that are going to allow for things to be battle shocked. I think you do this. I think you cut Tremor Senses and bring Neurotyrant down to 105 points. And then you just like make both of these Lictors into Neurolictors. Like, think about the synergy that you got there. That seems pretty sweet, And I forgot you have Maleceptors too. Dude, this list is sweet. This list is really cool, man. He's got 12 Zoanthropes. Chat, should I play 12 Zoanthropes next week? I think I want to do that. I think I'm going to do that. Just 12 Zoanthropes bouncing around on the table. Because we know my opinion on Subterranean Assault. I think you do shooting over combat. Yeah, dude, this list is awesome. Who is this? Flash Virgo? I think it's cool, man. Run this, but just get rid of the enhancement. Just plan out your reserves a little bit better, or a little bit more, whatever. And then put some Neurolictors in, because look at all this energy. Screamer Killers, boom. Neurolictor, boom. Maleceptors, they're just good. Rupture Cannons, sweet, awesome. 2 thumbs up, really like that. Let's see how many lists we got. We got 1. 2. We got 2 more lists, and then let's see. I'll do 3 more lists after these 2 lists. I'll probably take a break, use the restroom, use the little bugs room, and then come back and then we'll grab some lists and we'll get going. So Invader Boy Zim, I'm assuming he's submitted a list. So there might be 1 to 2 other slots if you'd like to be a member, and then submit your list real quick. It will be seen. It will. Oh, we're just a blip. Chat, let me know if I've disconnected or something. That was spooky. Okay, we have a Broodlord, 2 Carnifexes, and King of the Colosseum. Man, that's ballsy. That's pretty good. And then Gene Stealers, Lictor, and then Pyrovore. I'm assuming Yeah, I know. I think it was on my end actually. It's like spooky raining outside, so maybe it was just a blip. It should be good now though, I think. Let me know if it's not. I think the Pyrovore instead of Biovore is literally because he just jammed so many points in. Cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I think 2 Carnifexes is hilarious in King of the Colosseum. And in Vanguard Onslaught, you just like fall back and charge. With this, I would probably actually do melee. Because you want to fall back and charge with your Carnifexes like over and over and over. That's what I would think. But Gene Stealers are amazing, and Vanguard Onslaught and Lictors are really good. The Pyrovore is just awkward because I'm assuming this is exactly at 500 points. It's probably a Pyrovore instead of a Biovore. But very, very cool idea. And then I think this is the other list of Carnifexes, Hormagaunts, Lictor, Ripper Swarm, Von Ryans, and a Winged Hive Tyrant. Very cool, man. Let's see if I still have my King of the Colosseum list down, and I would love to share it with you. Yeah. So my Colosseum list, and I actually played this on stream on Wednesday Night Warhammer as part of our 12-hour stream. It was Broodlord, Winged Hive Tyrant, Hormagaunts, Biovore, Gene Stealers, and a Lictor. So I would still probably prioritize using a Biovore. Just because if you think about King of the Colosseum, Spore Mines are going to be really, really good. Because like King of the Colosseum, I feel like is all about being efficient with your units and just being able to have extra units being shot into the board. That seems really good, you know? And just being able to do that seems very, very, very kind of worthwhile. But yeah, the Carnifexes in King of the Colosseum are actually hilarious. That's amazing. Very cool stuff. All right, first list, and then we'll do a couple more. I think I said 3. We'll do 3 more after this. And this is Aaron None of a Business. Very good name. Both the library and the gym was closed. We're taking it out on you. Oh, geez. Synaptic Nexus. We've got Deathleaper Swarmlord. Hive Tyrant full melee with Dirge Heart. Wow. 2x10 Hormagaunts, a Biovore Neurolictor, 2x6 Tyrant Guard. Thank you, Nemelin. Namaline. Sorry, I don't know how to spell your name or say your name, but thank you so much for being a member. Incredible. Go post your list real quick. Go do it. Or tell me if you've already posted one and I'll go find it for you. 2x6 Tyrant Guard, 2 Norn Emissary, 1x6 Zoanthrope, and 2x3 Zoanthropes. Interesting. Very kind of cool. I feel like we almost want to... Your first membership ever! Dude, I feel honored. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like we probably want to go more into like Battle Shock stuff. Right? Yeah, I wish Synaptic Nexus was better too. One of the lists that I was toying with bringing tomorrow night was like a Synaptic Nexus with like the new Hormagaunts, because I think they're actually good in Synaptic Nexus. We just need some more support. And with like the Lashboot Prime, because they can recycle a 5-up invulnerable save, yada yada yada. And then fall back in charge. You can have AOC with them. You can get +1 to advance in charge, and they advance in charge. This list is really cool. I think the only thing that I would change, right? I think I would cut the 2x3 Zoanthropes, and I would probably just do like a Rupture Cannon Tyrannifex, just to kind of round out your anti-tank and some longer range. And that should really help. Like something like that backing up the Tyrant Guard would be... Oh, no, I'm wrong. I think you do Maleceptor, right? You have 30 points left over. Like a Ripper Swarm would probably be fine. Or you do... Yeah. The points get a little clunky. Yeah, but this is sweet. I think 12 Tyrant Guard is amazing. 12 Tyrant Guard seems very, very cool. I'm kind of like on a purchase pause, you know, for going into 11th edition. But I think just running bricks of Tyrant Guard seemed really, really cool. But I only have 6 right now, so I don't want to shell out a bunch of money until like the new rules come out or whatever. Who knows? They're probably the same. Anyways, I'm going to grab those lists. Let's take like 2 minutes, and then I'm going to get 3 lists, and we'll be back. You're going to hear the amazing music that my wife and I wrote while I'm gone. Awesome. I will find it. I'll be looking for it. All right. See you guys very, very soon. Bye. Are back. 3 more lists, 3 members. Thank you again for all the support. Everybody really, really appreciate it. Excited to be hanging out with you guys and talking about bugs. Next, Namalin. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for being a member. And they have submitted a list. They say, hello, Jordan. I'm relatively new to Warhammer 40K and have played 3 games so far, each time with different Tyranid armies since I had borrowed most of them all. It's very cool. Now I'd like to build my own first army, which I can use to play a lot of games in order to properly learn the core rules and get familiar with the models. In our club, there are players from every faction, so I'll be facing all kinds of opponents. It sounds like you're in a great environment to learn how to play the game. It sounds, especially because you're able to borrow some models from people. It's always a good time to either start on like Tabletop Simulator, or just borrowing stuff from people. You know. All right, chat. If you know about the chair, get ready. It's that point in the stream where I've sunk down so far below. Thank you very much for your videos. They help me a lot. I appreciate that, man. It is truly a pleasure. It's a whole lot of fun making those videos. Here's my idea for my first army. The all-you-can-eat swarm. Very cool. Invasion fleet. We've got a Broodlord, Hive Tyrant with adaptive biology, Bone Sword and Lash Whip inside the towns. Now, I used to be a full Hive Tyrant melee stan. I think I'm going back and forth. I think right now I'm on Bone Sword Venom Cannon, but who knows? I think both are fine. It just depends on your playstyle. Gargoyles, 2x10 Hormagaunts, Biovore Excrin, Gene Stealers, a Lictor, 2 Maliceptor, a Neurolictor, Pyrovore, Tyranifex. Well, I mean, you've done it. This is a great list. Truly. So let's take a look at it. I don't think there's anything I don't like about this. I think having 1 Lictor and 1 Neurolictor is also fine. I think the Pyrovores seem really good. Rupture Cannons. My buddy Kyle, we go back and forth on, well, we don't really go back and forth. We both have our opinions on Pyrovores. I really like Pyrovore next to the Maliceptor because, like, AP2 on the Maliceptor kind of stinks. If your opponent has any kind of cover, then, like, it's kind of tough. But, like, being able to just shoot a Pyrovore at something and then your Maliceptor also shoots at it and then it doesn't get cover seems kind of good. Did you have a Neurotyrant? You do have a Neurotyrant. So I don't think you always need to take a Neurotyrant. But I think Invasion Fleet, it is actually pretty good. So that your Gargoyles, while they're being sent out to die, they still have Synapse. Or like your Hormagaunts being sent out to die. So they still have Synapse. So you can like overrun or do something like that with them. Makes them seem really, really good. Yeah. So you could also do something like cutting 1 Maliceptor for a 3rd Exocrine. That's probably where I would lean. But I don't know, like 2 Maliceptors are really annoying to deal with. You know, I don't think it's bad at all. But I think I really, really like and I value having an Exocrine come in from Strat Reserves and just being able to get an angle that it normally would not be able to if it was deployed on the table. And then just pew, 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 whoop, pew, 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 you know? But 2 Maliceptors being kind of really big anvil units that just trundle up the board and are just kind of also really hard to deal with is also very good. So if you were to do that, here's what I think. You would cut a Maliceptor, right? You have 170 points. You would put an Exocrine in, and then you have 30 points. So there's a couple things that I would like to do. Then at that point, I don't think you need the Pyrovores, right? So you cut the Pyrovores as well. You're up to 70 points. And then you could do something like downgrade this Neurolictor maybe and make it as a Lictor and then get Death Leaper. Or you could literally just get a 2nd Neurolictor. And I think either of those options are perfectly fine. Maybe keep the Neurolictor, but I think Death Leaper is very schnazzy. So yeah. So then you have triple Exocrine and Gene Stealers. You have 3 Lone Ops, 2 Tyranifexes, and Maliceptor. This is a great list. This is good. I think this is like really, really, really bog standard Invasion Fleet with some mission play, with some durability. Seems good. Love it. Very nicely done. And again, I really appreciate you being a member. How are we doing in chat? Why I don't like to run it? Yeah. I ran it in early 10th. before I had Exicans and second T-Fix and I had fun with it. It's good. The rules encourage Synapse units, but they basically don't get to utilize the buffs due to... Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're like, run Synapse units. And then you're like, okay, I'm running Synapse units. What do I get? And they're like, you don't get anything. You're just running Synapse units because the detachment has Synapse in the name. Seems annoying. Like, the best units for it are like Hormagaunts and Ravagers. Actually, I do low-key think that Hormagaunts getting the Last Rip Prime and Raveners getting the Hyperdaptives that do have Synapse, I think those have been like the best buffs for Synaptic Nexus. They've been like ghost buffs, you know? It is fun casually, but small group I play with is decently competitive. Doesn't feel good running into Catan Span. Yeah, I think it folds to Catan Span for sure. I've not looked back since Sub Assault came out really, so yeah, Sub Assault is very good. Awesome, Moen. That's good. And Invasion Fleet are most of my games recently. I want to play Vanguard. I'm sure you would be fine at it, you know. Of course, you're very welcome. I had the whole edition trying to get Snap to be fun, but got bored of Invasion, so Sub Assault has been great. Yeah, Sub Assault really has been a breath of fresh air for the Tyranids and the playstyle, because it definitely offers something that the rest of the detachments don't. Our second list of our extra list is Invader Boy Zim. Longtime supporter of W&W as well as Highbind Hobbies. So I greatly appreciate you being a member. And he says, I've been loving Crusher. Look at that. His list. It's Crush, Crush, Crush. Invader Boy Zim, are you a Paramore fan? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Crusher Stampede. You know what? I was thinking this the other day. Owen. What if Death Leaper could be a warlord in any of our detachments? Is that something we should be upset about? What do you think? But like, if he was, we could just take Death Leaper as our warlord and then boom. But let's take a look at what he's got. He's got a Hive Tyrant, full melee with Null Nodules. Interesting. Is Null Nodules 15 points? No, I think it's 10 points. Okay. I think, unless Null Nodules is just hilariously bad. You probably just were at 1990 and you're like, let's get to 2000. We have one squad of Gargoyles, a Biovore, double Excrin, double Maleceptor, one Trigon, and then triple Tyrannifex. Warlord Parasite Chan would object. Okay, fair enough. I think Crusher Stampede is really good. I was playing a list that was just triple Norn. It was like triple Norn, double Exocrine, Maleceptor, double Tyrannifex, Hive Tyrant, and 2 Lictors, and Biovore, of course. And that was the entire list. And it was so much fun. But when it folded so hard, and it was very, very sad. Yeah. But this list is cool, man. So it's funny, like, reviewing Crusher Stampede, because I'm like, oh, well, there it is. You know, that's the list. I would actually probably value Infiltrators maybe over Gargoyles. You know? I think this Trigon is kind of like the odd man out. Like, maybe it just kind of makes sense because you rapid ingress it, and then there's another melee threat to deal with. Ooh, and I would consider one of these Tyrannifexes being an acid spray. As like a no man's land, just like you're just putting it out there, clearing off different chaff and stuff. Because one of the problems with Crusher Stampede is you literally only have so many activations. And so, you know, just having an acid spray unit to really, really kind of kill off any skirmishing units or any smaller units that you don't want to put your entire Maleceptor into or your entire Exocrine into. And then what is his note? Crusher list I made that's going to try to run double Tyrant as I find myself wanting to abuse the detachment strat. Yeah, Crusher Stampede actually has pretty good detachment strats. So yeah, I don't hate the double Tyrant. It is a lot of points. So let's say we have 10 points, right? And our goal is another Infiltrator, probably. So it's like different different thoughts. You can cut these gargoyles, which is strange that I'm saying that, right? You can cut these gargoyles for, let's do that. I think we're going to do that. So we have 95 points. And you could either just cut this Trigon entirely and get like 2 other units or something like that. Or maybe keep the gargoyles and then get 2 other units. Or make this Trigon a 3rd exocrine. And I think that's more player preference, honestly. If the Trigon's been good for you, run the Trigon. Oh, yeah. Main Itheon. Yeah, like, I feel like a Trigon needs to have Twin Linked. He's got so many arms. You're telling me he can't reroll his wounds with that many arms? Dang. RGR. Do on your channel. I've been watching all your stuff for the last year and so far. Nice. 6-1 overall with my NIDs. You're awesome, man. That's incredible. Good job, dude. And thank you for supporting the channel and everything. I appreciate you hanging out. So 95 points. We could do like a Neurolictor. This is going to sound funny, but I think it actually is not terrible. A Neurolictor. And then a Ripper Swarm. Get that area denial. Get that engage on all fronts. 25 points. Bennis, you got it, man. No worries. I believe in you. Anyways, yeah, so Invader Boy Zim. It's kind of up to your preference. Like, me personally, I probably want the 3rd exocrine instead of the Trigon. I think also people are really spooked by the Trigon. Like, you tell them it has 6-inch deep strike, and they're like, but like, you're going to rapid ingress it, and then you're just going to run at them, you know? I do think a melee threat in this list is good. I mean, but you have Swarmlord, Hive Tyrant. All right. Yeah, and we cut null nodules. Boom. Yeah, Invader Boy Zim. Thank you. Crusher Stampede is amazing. I think it is also a great detachment and a great list to round out the edition with. Just play Crusher Stampede, you know? We're not trying to be here for like 6-hour games or whatever. We're not trying to big brain people. We have big monsters and we push them up the field. What can you do against it? You can't? Okay, I win. Thank you again for the support, man. Our last list for today is Hunter Nichols of Omnitron, another member as well. Apparently, he is so member that I membered him twice. Are we frozen? No, we're just... And then I think he posted this while we were streaming, so it's also sweet to get such a upfront list. He says, got to use this list yesterday, and the 20 Horn Prime Brick was so strong I felt bad for using it. Holy crap, it crushed my poor girlfriend. Oh no. He's like, hey, play this game with me. It's really, really fun. So we have a Tyranid Prime with Lash Whip, 20 Hormagaunts, as he mentioned, Biovore, 10 Gene Stealers, and a Psychophage. Yeah, no, that seems great. And if you weren't playing King of the Coliseum, this is a King of the Coliseum list, by the way, folks. If you weren't playing King of the Coliseum, then maybe like an Exocrine instead. But you are playing King of the Coliseum. So the Psychophage seems kind of... Psychophage, instead of the Psychophage, you could do a Pyrovore and a Neurolictor. I think that would be pretty good because like a Neurolictor spamming Battle Shock stuff, and then if you get +1 to wound on something with 20 Hormagaunts, it is dead, right? Because the +1, yeah, I mean, I would think. So I think that would be a pretty good idea. But also keep the Psychophage because like AP3 on Gene Stealers and AP2 on Hormagaunts. Also pretty good. I like King of the Coliseum with Invasion Fleet because you can just keep on regrowing the Hormagaunts, you know? Because there's a good chance that they don't kill all the Hormagaunts in one activation because there's 20 of them. Bennett says, do I want to try guessing what the detachment point cost of current bugs detachments is going to be? Okay. Here is what I think is probably going to happen with detachment stuff. Yeah, the Feel No Pain aura, he should have just kept both, right? Put him at like 120 points and he gets both auras. You know, and I think he's fine. All right, detachments. This is what I think is going to happen. I think we are we're not going to keep all of our detachments. I don't think we're keeping all of our detachments, folks. I think we are probably going to keep, I don't know. They probably just like narrow it down to like 4 detachments and we keep like 4 of those detachments. However, I think those detachments that we keep are probably going to be 3 points each. Like each of those detachments is going to be 3 points. You can't combine any of those detachments. Then I think they're going to supplement. No, we are not. We are not. I think that's Matt Evans, right? Or what is his name? He's pretty cool. He's got some good content too. Go check him out. But I think all the detachments that carry over from 10th to 11th are going to be the 3-point detachments, and you can like run those detachments as is, but you can't mix and match or something like that. And then we will get very, very niche specific detachments, like maybe Endless Swarm becomes a 1 or 2-point detachment. Maybe Vanguard Onslaught becomes a 2-point detachment. I could see that. But there's no way that we're going to be able to mix and match like Subterranean Assault. Like, are you kidding me? That would be crazy. Like, oh, these guys can pop out of holes, but these guys can't. That'd be wild. I think if Subterranean Assault stays, it's a 3-point detachment. You can't mix and match. I would think that Invasion Fleet probably stays and it's a 3-point detachment. Synaptic Nexus, I think it's gone. Right? Much to our dismay. And maybe, I hope Assimilation Swarm stays, because I think Assimilation Swarm has been one of the coolest detachments for Tyranids. I haven't played it enough, but I think it's very, very flavorful. Yeah, you mean I can't take Subterranean Assault and Invasion Fleet? Ah! Yeah, I don't think so. Who knows, though? I'm excited. It's an exciting time, but we can't do anything until they say, hey, this is what you do. Regardless of that, thank you for being cool. Thank you for hanging out with me for over an hour. Hanging out, just talking about Tyranids. Really, really greatly appreciate all the support. You guys are very cool. This channel doesn't exist. The Army List review show doesn't exist unless people submit lists, you know? So thank you. I will see you tomorrow night on Wednesday Night Warhammer. Please check us out. I'm bringing, I think 40 here. I'll just give a rundown of my list real quick. Not a big, huge thing. I'm bringing Broodlord with Gene Stealers, Hive Tyrant, Adapted Biology, a Neurotyrant, 2 Lashwhip Primes, 40 Hormigons, 40 Termagants, a Biovore, 2 Exocrines, Gene Stealer, 2 Neurolictors, 1 Venomthrope Squad, 1 Von Ryan's Leaper Squad, and Zoanthrope Squad. That's what I'm bringing. It's going to be fun. Is it good? No idea. But I'll see you there, and we'll find out together. All right, everybody. See you later. Goodbye.